I'd like to welcome you to this event. It's a pleasure to have all of you here, and it's a pleasure that you honored our invite. We want to promise you 2 days of fun, laughter, lessons, and more lessons, and a lot of networking.
I note that this conference seeks to identify and discuss challenges and areas of concern in the use of technology during data sharing in the region and propose possible ways of navigating them in a bid to promote sustainable development, regional integration, and innovation through effective data governance.
It's about bringing together the best minds, yours, the boldest ideas, yours, and the most committed change maker, you, to create a future where data is a force for dignity, for security, for prosperity, and I think we can do it in the next 2 days.
I've interacted with some of these very important people, and I'm glad that today I get to meet a bigger audience from people who are so passionate about data protection, about data security, data governance in general.
A critical area, I think, has been how do we maintain public trust in data? Many of us are now really comfortable with our opinions. In fact, what we say is that let me have my own truth. It doesn't matter what the truth is. And I think this is the work that we do ultimately if we strip the concepts that are sometimes difficult for us to engage with.
Well, we're really excited that our partnership with Amnesty International Kenya has been going on for the last couple of years, where we've been thinking about bringing together the various communities of development together. So the Open Institute works more with the Data for Development group. Amnesty International works more with the human rights crowd. And to be able to bring all of these guys together to start having conversations about how development can happen sustainably, while paying adequate respect to human rights, it has been great.
We are talking a lot about data, but when you look at who are making these conversations, they are already in a position or places where data governance is a big subject. Now, while at high level a lot of conversations are being made, whether it's the government or civil society organizations, at the grassroots level, they have no idea what data governance is. It shows how big the gap is, and we need to address it to make sure that we are all on the same page and moving at a similar pace.
What other countries, particularly in the region, can learn from Kenya when it comes to power of data is that data is not just an issue that you leave with the National Statistical Office. Data is very political, and therefore you need to engage policymakers, politicians, and you need to think about financing for data, championing data production and data use. So really data and the power of data is multiplied when you have all the players on board, right from the politicians, the people who allocate funding, to the people who actually implement. And I think that perspective of seeing data as a political tool that can support development is a new way of thinking that traditionally we've always thought data is just the responsibility of the National Statistical Office. But now we're seeing that it is everybody's responsibility, and we need to get people on board so that we can multiply the power of data.
Data governance thrives within communities and society. So when there are fundamental shifts in how society operates, it has a direct effect on everything else. And so let's discuss the softer issues and come up with innovative suggestions and ideas about how we can embrace these challenges.
But then also I feel like having the conversation around the challenges that individual data protection officers are facing and hearing people's regulators' views of what are the biggest challenges that they are tackling and how are they tackling them was really, really interesting. And so I think such a conversation was timely.
I attended the East Africa Data Governance Conference, and my highlight of the day was hearing that some of our data labelers and AI workers are used as data subjects, which is not very cool. I think we need more regulation to better protect them and to ensure that they get their consent so that their data is not being used for unlawful means.
So in building effective data governance frameworks, we need to think about 3 key principles. We need to think about community ownership and participation, because it's not just the AI developers who are involved here or who are losing out, it's the communities. If they're not collecting this data online, they're going into the community to collect the data. Nobody is talking about the language speakers who are literally offering their voices for this data.
We learned that digital rights are human rights, and that is the way to go. As human rights defenders from the coast, we have been gathering a lot of data from the community, documenting all this kind of data, the human rights violation. But coming to this East African data governance has been the best experience in 2025. It's a special way to start a year, doing a lot of things that I have learned here, and it's high time to take them back to Kilifi County and the coast region at large. So it's amazing to work with brilliant minds and learning a lot of things from the East African Data Conference.
Indeed, it's been such an exciting experience. Having participated in the East African Data Governance Conference, it's been wonderful, and it's something that nobody should ever miss. And I think this one should be done even at a lower level, at even the local level, so that people can be able to learn more, just as we have learned. But we are going down to the ground, and we are going to disseminate the information even so.